you read the title of the video, you already know what this is. This is a no sunflower run on a PvZ2 mod. You know, originally I was gonna look at a video of someone doing this, but I couldn't find any. You know, there's challenges for the second game with only certain archetypes only. There's ones for the first game with no sunflowers. So, I took it upon myself to try to beat this mod using the least amount of sunflowers as possible, only relying on the sun that falls in the sky. Now, to save your time, I have completely skipped level 1 because it's really just trivial. All you have to do is place down pea shooters and use a couple potato mines. Now, skipping forward a little bit, you'll see the main strategy that I use in these levels is placing down the potato mine and then just putting plant food on it. This will ensure that it'll at least cover a lane that the pea shooter might not be in. And I mean, it can also one-tap cone heads and buckets, and they're always an issue. Here I just skipped to the final wave. You didn't really miss much, just potato mines being thrown down. Now, all buckets in many lanes is a little bit scary, but I do have a surplus of plant food. And as you can just see, the only folly of using potato mine and its plant food is that you're not guaranteed to hit something. It might just whiff. So it did end up causing me a lawnmower in the end, but that is the second level all done. Immediately skipping forward to level 3, and we've got a slight issue. There's no pea shooters, only repeaters. And of course, because we can't use sunflowers, I can't just spam them out. So all I have to do is the name suggests, and just be patient. With enough potato mines, this level should be a cakewalk, and in fact, it kinda was a cakewalk. What really simplifies the level is once you get your repeater out, that lane is pretty much secured. You'll see, or you've probably already seen, that it can comfortably take out a Conant and 2 separate zombies. So all I gotta do is just put mines down, get more repeaters, and this level is pretty easy. This is until the mid-wave happens, where there's zombies in lanes that I don't have stuff for, but luckily, a very great plant food from that potato mine neutralizes that whole wave, leading the whole rest of the level to get pretty slow, and I can get repeaters in all my other lanes. Now, once again, I'm reminded that the potato mine plant food is something to be used immediately. As you can see, one was completely wasted, and one singular potato mine was kind of wasted there. But at the end, I was able to get out of this scot-free. This level is a conveyor belt level, so there's no sunflowers to be placed. We can skip this one. Now we're on to Egypt, where we get introduced to graves. Things that land on tiles and cause my shots to get blocked. So, at the start of my levels, I pretty much always just place down pea shooters in lanes to just clear them out early, then use potato mines to get rid of all the straggler zombies. But with that level done, we are unlocked to probably one of the biggest things for this challenge. Well, I mean, I'm being a little zealous here, but the cabbage pult is pretty great. Not only in this world, but just in general. The ability to lob over grid projectiles that are just in the way. And not even to mention its plant food with the board clearing effect. I think it's a mainstay for our defense for worlds to come. That being said, however, we are introduced to quite possibly the biggest threat, at least for right now, the camel zombie. It's just a dude holding some panels with 3 guys accompanying him. And one pea shooter is not enough to kill it, causing me to use my cabbage plant food, so you can see what it does. But thankfully, doubling up on my attacks does lead for them to die, so I just do that and the level's over. Skipping through the opening bit of this level, we can see that cabbage pult, even with some graves on the coneheads lane, is able to comfortably take that out. So that's a pretty great starting guy if you ask me, especially for this world. But we get introduced to a new threat. I'm forgetting his name, but it's the bone guy, and he throws grid projectiles everywhere. Leaving this aforementioned bone guy alive for too long will cause the graves to be everywhere, but cabbage plant food pretty much makes this easy, and that's that one done. Now, despite what I said about the cabbage pult's ability to be able to attack and kill coneheads in its lane, I had an anomaly happen where one just died. I guess what happened was it was walking on a grave, and the cabbage decides to attack a grave over the zombie occupying it. You'll end up seeing it a lot with the bone guys. Skipping even further ahead, you can see that the bone dudes have produced a lot of graves, and with that aforementioned cone anomaly happening a lot, I need to use the plant food prematurely to clear out more graves and a lot of the zombies. All that difficulty aside, 3 plant foods in the final wave is just completely done. And with yet another conveyor belt level, Ancient Egypt is looking pretty easy. Skip. This marks the first level I get to finally get that sunflower off my roster so I don't accidentally place it. And also the level that we get Gravebuster. I don't suspect it being that good in this world, maybe in Dark Ages. But that tangent aside, this level is kinda just easy. Even though the explorer zombies introduced in this level, 1 cabbage pole is just comfortably enough to get rid of them. 2 vegetable plant foods later, and that's that level done. Unlocking one of the best plants for this challenge, with the ability to instantly freeze anything that touches it, making less lanes and less zombies to deal with. Now things start getting a little difficult when the game starts throwing cone heads a bit closer to my house than I'd want them to be. But with some potato mines, it's a non-issue. Keeping with my prior statement, this level was a non-issue, and even easy enough for me to try out a new plant, the bloomerang. Skipping into a large chunk of the next level, we get introduced to, in theory, a very scary threat. An enemy that is moderately quick and with a high HP pool, but like bucketheads are an easy solution with just potato mine. Cheap, easy, and they barely even spam them out, so I'm able to comfortably get them down. And with that, the level is pretty much over. Just using a couple plant foods because I had them, and we get the Ice Pea, who suffers from the same issues as the Bloomerang, that being the sun cost. In the nature of this challenge, I'm not going to have that much sun, and despite what you're seeing, I don't really use the Snow Pea that much at all. Now that's not me saying that Snow Pea's bad. By any means, it is incredible. It's basically like a cheaper repeater, slowing down a zombie so it does practically double the damage of a pea shooter. But, like I said before, the sun cost, huge caveat. I'm gonna let the rest of this level play out because it's the last easy half of Egypt that I can properly do without sunflowers, because the last level in here is just a conveyor belt level, so I'll just leave it to it. Despite the loss of 2 lawnmowers, this level has been beaten. And due to this being conveyor level, we can skip this one. Attempt to see if I can beat this one without any sun producers.
Well, it's a special level, so...
I know, that's when they throw the gimmicks out. Okay, well... yeah, no, next video we're doing Pirate Seas.